You've planned for everything for your loved one, but there is one person that many caregivers forget to plan for, and that is themselves. What happens to your mother, your father, your spouse when you get sick and you are unable to care for them? My name is Amy, and I'm a coach for family caregivers. I have cared for my father with lung cancer and my mother with Alzheimer's. And I'm here today to talk about what happens when you get sick. I woke up this morning myself with this head cold that I've been fighting for days, and it reminded me of the time when I got the flu while I was caring for my mother. And I was devastated because I didn't know what was going to happen. I wasn't going to be able to be there for her, answer questions for her, take her places, check on her, right? It really had me very upset until I was so exhausted and the medication took over and I realized there was nothing I could do. So I want to talk to you today about creating a plan B. And this is part of my longer video that talks about planning for emergencies, but I really wanted to pull this out today because I'm really feeling it and it really brought it back to mind for me. So here's just a little chunk from that video on emergencies. I mean, you can go back and watch the whole video. I talk about weather-related emergencies, disasters, scheduling emergencies, and illness. So here's just a little chunk on how to create a plan B when you're not feeling well. So let me give you an example of, I would say, a mini crisis, a little emergency that might occur. Let's say you've made a plan for your loved one to go to the doctors. You can't take them, maybe because of, whatever conflict in your schedule. Maybe you are not well yourself. Maybe you are at work, whatever the case might be. You make the plan. You have some transportation arranged for them. Then the morning of the doctor's appointment, the transportation doesn't arrive. That can actually feel like an emergency. That can feel like a crisis, right? Because you've gotten your loved one ready mentally, knowing that they're going to go to the doctors and knowing that they're going to go to the doctors, but without you. So how can we sort of preempt that problem? How can we be proactive in preparing for a situation where there might not be transportation? Well, I call that Plan B. And Plan B can be used for transportation. It can be used if a caregiver is supposed to come into their home and they're not there, they don't come. Plan B can be if meals were planned to be delivered and then the meals aren't delivered for whatever reason. It could be, weather related or whatever. So Plan B is just really going through the situation and figuring out if Plan A doesn't work, the transportation to take your loved one to a doctor's, then what is Plan B? You probably can't be part of Plan B because you know that you already have a scheduling conflict. Our caregiver hearts tell us, oh, I got to throw all my plans away and I have to go and I have to take care of my loved one. But if you plan for a Plan B, then you don't have to be the one tossing in the towel on all of your scheduled events, and you have some type of backup. So in the resource section of our membership, I have this form for you. Have a look here. It is called Plan B, right? Now, this is also part of my caregivers planning organizer, our care partner organizer. But notice here, so here's the Plan B as you work through and decide what is going to happen. So the plan is that, maybe a health worker is going to come and the agency is going to come and visit. And then in the right-hand column is the Plan B part. who should be called if they don't show up. And so we have the name and the phone number. Right? Who is transporting me today? I mean, this is a wonderful document just to even leave for your loved one to look at. I mean, if they're mentally, able to reason through things, then they can actually use this as a reference to help them as well. So who is transporting me today? The name of the person, the agency, their phone number. So if we have to call them to say, my transportation hasn't arrived, right there is the information. So right-hand side, who should I call if they don't show? Now, it could be that if you don't have transportation to go to the grocery store, okay, today we're not going to go to the grocery store, right? That's a simple fix. But, a doctor's appointment could be much more serious, and you may want to, make sure they make that appointment. So could there be a neighbor? Is there another agency? Do you know that agency for transportation has given you a number to call in the case somebody doesn't show up? Right? So this is where we keep that information. Now, just always to have with us here is contact information at the bottom of this form. Super helpful, especially if like a caregiver is coming in to, help out, sit with your loved one, maybe do some light housekeeping or something like that. Here's a space for you for 3 contact members. And, is it a family member? Is it a friend? Are they from an agency that helps out? That contact information can be invaluable for whoever might be with your loved one or for your loved one themselves if they are able to handle, that information and have some reasoning to be able to solve some problems on their own. All right. I hope that you found this helpful. I hope, it's not too much coming to you at once, but little by little, you can work on some of these things to put these ideas into place. And trust me, at the time of the emergency, you're going to be glad that you were prepared in this way. If you'd like more resources to help you in case of emergencies, you might want to check out my Care Partner Organizer. This organizer provides you information for medical, financial, and legal needs. You also find the section on making an emergency plan, and there's a special section if your loved one is or becomes a wanderer. There's a special section in there about building a care circle, and you can work with me within my membership, Caregivers Thriving, to help you create a circle around you and your loved one that can help you feel supported. Learn more about the Care Partner Organizer and my membership, Caregivers Thriving, at caregiversthriving.com or caregiversthriving/membership.